All right, guys, it's time for our MomTales of the week, and boy, we have some great answers today. We asked, what's the funniest lie your child has ever told you? And I just say these are some of my favorite responses we have ever had. I didn't pick as many as normal because some of them are longer stories, but believe me, it's gonna be worth it. Okay, here we go. Number 1, Mackenzie. We took my 4-year-old son to Legoland in California. We were waiting in line for a mechanical pony ride that he was very excited for and could do by himself. The attendant was asking every child their age before they got on the ride. We hadn't thought to talk to him about why. When he got to the front of the line, the attendant asked him his age. He hesitated and looked at us. We reassured him. Then, as cool and as confident as he could, he said, 18. Everyone within earshot was rolling. Apparently, he was worried he wasn't old enough. Oh my gosh. I remember that fear of going up to a line for a ride and not being old enough. Well, for me, it was mostly a fear I wasn't tall enough because I was always the shortest in my class, the youngest in my family. So we'd go somewhere, I was trying to stand up really tall. I was always afraid I would not be tall enough to ride. So I get that kid's anxiety. Okay, number 2, Christy. My daughter was 3 and farted loudly and then said, "That was a woodpecker." Oh my gosh. I just love how quick-witted that was. It was a woodpecker. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, number 3, Sarah. I'm a preschool teacher. One of our 3-year-olds who is very smart told me, "Today's my last day as a kid. I start college on Saturday," and let out a huge sigh. I just start college on Saturday. No big deal. Oh my God. I love that. Okay, number 4, Hannah. I wrote on a wall when I was very little. My dad asked me if I did it. I responded, "No, Todd did it." There is no Todd. He says, "Oh," and walks out of the room. Comes back 5 minutes later and tells me, "I just got off the phone with Todd's mom. Todd said you did it." Checkmate. I love that. I love that the dad played along with it and was just I called Todd's mom. Sorry. He threw you under the bus. I love that. That's very creative. All right, number 5, Jen. Son walks into the bedroom about 5 a.m. Son, my pants are wet. Me, did you pee the bed? Son, no. Me, then how are they wet? Son, water. Me, what water? Son, from my body. Me, so you peed your bed. Son, no. Me, then what water? Son, the water from my wee-wee. Me, so you peed your bed. Son, no, I peed my pants. Me, where were you? Son, in bed, asleep. And that, folks, is parenting. Okay, I think that's hilarious because he didn't want to admit that he peed the bed, but he would admit to peeing his pants. He was just very specific about what he did. I love that. Okay, number 6, Shelby. My 4-year-old had been jumping in mud puddles near our house, which he was specifically told not to do. When he came up to me covered in splashes of fresh mud, I asked him what happened, and he looked me right in the eye and said, "I have no idea." Because if you just forget, it doesn't really count, right? You didn't break the rules. Number 7, Kimberly. I just remembered this one that my sister told me. In her preschool, a nurse came in to test everyone's hearing. The nurse tried to make it fun by saying, "Let's play a game. When you hear the beep, raise your hand." My sister failed the test miserably. My mom got the results and was totally distraught because her sister, our aunt, was born deaf. She struggled a lot through our childhood in school making friends. The following weeks, until my sister could get an appointment with a really great hearing specialist, were very upsetting according to my mom. She read every book she could and asked my aunt hundreds of questions. The morning of my sister's appointment with the hearing specialist, my sister and my dad, who was quite the jokester, so my sister assumed he'd love this, were talking about hearing tests and what to expect that day. Then she said very proudly, "Daddy, the hearing nurse said let's play a game." So I played my own game. My sister took the silly little game aspects a little way too seriously. Clearly confused, he asked her to elaborate. Apparently her game was to do the opposite of what she was told. My dad explained how that's a big problem and now we don't know if there's really any hearing problems. She cried because she thought she was in trouble and did something wrong. The poor kid was so nervous during the next hearing test, she raised her hand, indicating she could hear the beep before the machine was on. Luckily, they had an alternative test where the specialist whispered across the room about ice cream, and she certainly heard that. Needless to say, she has perfect hearing. Oh my gosh. How far do you go on with a joke before telling someone? I love that she didn't even think there was anything wrong with it. She was just like, this is funny. The nurse said, let's play a game, so I was playing one too. Oh gosh, okay. I was always so nervous at those things. I'd be like, yes, like, raise my hand. Number 8, Jerry. My kid swiped a cool-looking pencil from another student's desk. The teacher saw it happen and confronted my kid. My kid adamantly denied it. When the teacher pointed to this pencil sitting on my kid's desk, my kid suddenly pretended to be blind and said she didn't realize she'd taken a pencil because she couldn't see. She was 7. Wow. That is really funny now, but I bet you were just like, what is going on? To pretend you can't see a pencil you just took, like, it's just like the forgetting thing. Like, well, if I forgot, then it obviously didn't happen. So, oh man, these kids, that's funny. All right, guys. Well, I loved reading the favorite lies that your kids told you so far. We had tons in the group and on Instagram. This was a lot of fun to read. Thank you everyone that submitted your responses. I had so much fun reading these. Of course, check it out next week for our new Mom Tales of the Week. And I will see you next week for another awesome interview. Thanks.